I didn't really want to make a video about this. I really didn't. It's unfortunately just the norm now. We just expect it to happen. But with the way things are unfolding, I gotta say something about this. I gotta get this off my chest. This will be a unscripted, unfiltered rant by yours truly, and this will probably be all over the place. I mean, I really need structure when I usually do stuff like this, and I'm not gonna have it, so bear with me on this one. For anybody unaware, I guess, anybody who's been living under a rock, War Rallycross recently announced that they will be going in a different direction and will no longer have EA Sports and Codemasters make their games. And on the surface, that's a totally fine deal. I mean, exclusive licenses stink, and contracts expire, and stuff like that. I mean, WRC said in their own announcement that they're looking to go in a different direction, and what have you. But it's the news past this that's really gotten under my skin, and it's spurred this on. And that's that the Codemasters developers that have been working on WRC and Dirt and all that other fun stuff, they have either been laid off or rerouted to work on FIFA, of all things. And it seems to me, and everybody else who has a pair of eyes, that Codemasters is slowly but surely being dissolved and will more than likely not exist in a few years. If it wasn't for the F1 titles, I think it probably would have already happened by now. On screen, I'll just put up a handful, not all, just a handful of studios that have been shut down. This isn't something new, this isn't something unheard of. This is practically a regular occurrence at this point. And I'm sick and tired of it, and everybody else is getting sick and tired of it. And Codemasters is one of the good ones. You know, Codemasters was one of the all-time greats in terms of racing games, and to see it going down like this just sucks. This just sucks. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I made this tweet on December 13th, 2020. 2 months after I said that, Codemasters would be bought up by EA for, Googling it now, $1.2 billion. So, was it worth it? I could say I told you so. I won't. I won't give you or myself the satisfaction of saying I told you so. You glad? You happy with that decision? You happy with this outcome? You glad you sold out for $1.2 billion? I mean, I've already decided the title of this video, and you've already seen it. I mean, death, taxes, and EA being the worst company imaginable. In fact, I want to say EA actually won awards for doing that. EA Electronic Arts won the Worst Company in America award back-to-back in 2012 and 2013. Here's a question. Why did they stop winning? I mean, Ubisoft is giving them a run for their money, but EA still, far and above, is the worst gaming company on the face of the earth, by far. Screw America, like, by the whole world. The downfall of EA should really be studied, and that could be a documentary on its own, of how, I mean, EA was the gold standard in the early 2000s, and slowly but surely it's just devolved into this cash cow that just exists, and nobody can get rid of it, and it just keeps swallowing up game studios and then spitting them out. I mean, racing game fans will tell you that nobody has it worse than them. Nobody has it worse than them right now. And with when stuff like this happens, it's hard to disagree with them. I mean, I'm a little biased. I've always been a fan of racing games. I grew up on racing games. So of course I'm a little bit biased, but like, the businessman side of me says, oh, EA's just buying up the competition and then removing them so they don't have anybody to compete with. But what's out there anymore? What's left? You bought up Codemasters. That was like the only competent studio I felt like they could go toe-to-toe. Or that was like a good AAA studio. Like, EA only makes a Need for Speed game like once every 5 years. Who are they competing with? Why would they swallow up a studio and then remove it from existence? Because now there's just less games. The portfolio every year just gets smaller and smaller. Racing games are now bundled with sports games, right? They're bundled with sports games at award shows. Racing games don't win awards anymore because we're bundled with Madden and crap, so it's literally impossible for anybody to win awards. We don't even have our own genre anymore. In terms of, in the awards world, racing games don't even have a genre anymore. Yeah, we need to bring back the Worst Company in America award. Get it rebadged as Worst Company on Earth award, and I promise you EA will start winning again. It's about the only thing they can do right. And I wish I could wrap this up and put some sort of spin on this, or put some sort of, well, on the bright side, but there isn't one. There is nothing good. There is no good. There's nothing good about this. There is no good. There's no good outcome to this. There's no winning. Nobody wins. Nobody. Even EA, because now they're going to make less money without, Codemaster titles. Like, no one wins in this scenario. No one. And I can't give some long speech about, well, if you speak with your wallet and stop buying their games, they'll have to listen to us. EA will stay afloat for all eternity. Understand that now. They release a Madden game every year. They now release a college football game every year. They have F1 every year. FIFA every year still, I think. EA still has enough yearly releases to stay afloat for all eternity. Okay, and they keep freaking pushing microtransactions, and now games themselves are going to be like $80, $90, so EA will stay afloat forever. You cannot stop buying their games and actually force them to listen to you. I'm sorry. There is only one solution. There's only one solution. And it's not us. It's the game studios. Stop. Please. For the love of everything, stop selling out to EA. EA offers you $1.2 billion? Don't take the bag. I'm sorry, just don't. You sign on the dotted line with EA, you are doomed. Period. There is no way that any studio is going to sign with Electronic Arts and go, well, this time, we're the studio that's going to survive. We're the studio that's going to make this place better. You sign with EA, you die. Period. No ifs, no ands, no buts. If studios stopped selling out, this ends. EA can't suck up the market and make it disappear when they don't own the studio. When they will be forced to make their own competitive games and compete in a market and not buy it and then Thanos snap it away. Which honestly sucks even worse, because now Codemasters is the bad guy. Codemasters is the one that I'm sitting here and saying, was it worth it? Are you glad you sold out for $1.2 billion? But that's where the buck stops. The buck stops at the studios. The studios have to stand up for themselves. They have to say, I'd rather exist and make games that people like and make less money than sell out and have a couple good years that arguably everybody's going to hate because you're owned by EA and there'll probably be more microtransactions than you can shake a stick at, and then ultimately get dissolved into another team or get laid off or just disappear entirely. This has to stop. This has happened far too many times, and for now Codemasters to now be at the very end of its run, this has to stop. I don't know who's next. We don't know who's next. I don't know what studio is in the crosshairs of EA right now, but you have to stop. This ends when studios stop selling out. If studios keep selling out, this is just going to keep happening. And for gaming as a whole, this has to stop. But for racing games, in racing game studios specifically, this has to stop. I'm sorry, you can't keep selling out to EA and expect a different outcome. Okay, it's out of my system. I've said all I wanted to say. I mean, I could keep going, but the ramblings will just get more incoherent, and it will devolve more and more into old man yelling at a cloud. That'll do it. My thoughts go out to everybody who's getting laid off. I hope you all land on your feet somewhere. You're a talented bunch of people who deserve better. And I hope you do land on your feet somewhere and make whatever studio you land at a better place. Because I know you can. I know they can. For the World Rallycross side of it, I hope they, land on their feet as well. They make a good game with a different studio, be of different vibe, different physics, different all that stuff. So, I mean, hopefully they come out of this at least better for it as well. If you liked this incoherent rambling rant, be sure to like and subscribe, I guess. I don't make this content regularly, but if you enjoyed it, I guess show your support that way. I got all kinds of really cool videos on the way. Be sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. But until next time, keep on gaming, everybody. Just not with EA.
Into right 5, into left 6, Titans, tree out.